I'm in the drive-through line to get my iced tea before I go to work, and sort of a daily ritual. And I thought I would record a quick video here concerning the current condition of Kanye. Some good alliteration there. Thank you very much. What it makes me think of is a very upsetting story called the Franklin scandal, which I've talked about many times before. When I ran across it, it totally broke me. But basically, it's Pizzagate before Pizzagate, and there have been numerous other instances like it throughout recent history, and probably throughout all of history. Anyway, do more research on your own if you wish, if you haven't heard of it. But just warning, it's likely to mess with your psyche. If you're an empath like me, if you're just if you just let things bounce off you and you don't really they don't really get under your skin very much, then maybe you're different. But there was a man in Nebraska named John DeCamp. He was I believe a state senator, and he had all of this he'd done all this research and had all of this knowledge about what was really going on. And he talked to the then head of the CIA. I believe his name was Colby at the time, who later died mysteriously, by the way. And DeCamp said to Colby, I need to cover this. This is very important. These things that are going on in my state. And Colby said to him, according to DeCamp, Colby said to him, look, this is a little bit above your pay grade. This is way above your pay grade. He didn't say it literally in those words, but that was the implication. And he said, this is one of those things where you're probably just gonna have to walk away, because there are some very powerful people who do very evil things, and that's just the way things are. And DeCamp said, no, I don't think I can do that. I can't just walk away. I've got to record this information, and I've got to fight this insidious evil. Which, again, if you want the details, look into the Franklin scandal. And that's when Colby said to him, okay, well, if you insist on not backing away from this, then the best way to ensure your safety and the safety of your family is to write a book about it. Essentially, what he said was, if you publicize what you have gathered, the evidence that you've gathered of these horrible, unspeakable things that are going on in your home state and elsewhere, but mostly in your home state of Nebraska. If you do that, then you will make yourself conspicuous to the world. And if you make yourself conspicuous to the world as an author who has written about this subject, then they are far less likely to take action against you. Because if they take action against you, then it will seem highly suspicious. I.e., man writes book about corrupt and evil powers that be doing unspeakable things, and then next day, man who wrote this book winds up dead. That will attract attention. That will make people think that there is something to it, and it will expose them. Whereas if he just keeps it secret and doesn't make himself conspicuous in this way, then they're much more likely to off him and make it look like a suicide or whatever. Now, this doesn't always work. Of course, there have been cases of people who have gone public and then died mysteriously after they've gone public. So I guess sometimes the powers that be just are willing to to show everybody just how ruthless they are, and they don't care about the message that it sends. I think the most recent incident of this is Epstein not killing himself, right? So it's certainly not foolproof. But on the other hand, if you are really conspicuous and you're saying something, you're saying things like, they're going to try to kill me, and then you wind up dead, then people are going to be suspicious about what happened to you, even if they weren't initially, prone to think highly of you. Now, this makes me think of Kanye West and the current condition or state of Kanye West and what he is facing now. He has openly said, he said in one interview, I was forcibly hospitalized. He exposed the man who forcibly hospitalized him, and showed how he had written a note to him saying, basically, you need to get on board, or else I'll send you back to the hospital where they'll drug you up so much you'll be in zombie land forever, and you won't be able to see your kids anymore. He exposed that tweet to the world, and that gave him leverage in a way. And he also said in another interview, while I was hospitalized, they gave me a certain kind of medication. If they'd wanted to, they could have just switched that medication with poison, and then they would just say, "Oh, well, he just lost it and overdosed or committed suicide or whatever," and the world would just think, "Oh, crazy guy, goes over the edge," just like we would expect a crazy guy to do. So, in doing these kinds of things, Kanye is employing a kind of strategy. And, I've said before, I've wondered before whether he's just, shooting from the hip, if he's actually doing this out of, I've asked before if he has a plan, because, while I'm very much on his side, I've wondered before about the prudence of him saying certain things at certain times or what have you. But when I think about it in this way, it does seem to me that he's employing a fairly brilliant plan to ensure his own safety, as best he can. Because if we all wake up tomorrow and we hear Kanye West dead of suicide, which of us is going to believe that Kanye West committed suicide? Which of us is going to think? There'll be some people out there, some low information types, who are just sort of semi-retarded, who will probably think that. But people who have a couple of brain cells to rub together, even if they're not inclined to like Kanye and even if they are at first inclined to think, oh, Kanye is just a nut, if they hear that he's, quote, committed suicide just after he's exposed these really powerful people for doing really nefarious things, and just after he has said they could do this to me, they could just switch out my medication and I'd be gone, and then he's gone, well, that blows their cover. I'm not saying, again, please don't misunderstand me here, I'm not saying that this necessarily deters them, because I do think that they are ruthless, and under the right circumstances, they'll commit acts that even expose them, if the alternative is that they get even more exposed. And I think that explains Jeffrey Epstein not committing suicide. But I do think that for Kanye, this is a good survival strategy. And I really hope and pray that it works for him and that we have him around for a long, long time to come. And I hope that if you're out there, you are praying as well for him and for others who are in need, similar need. Thanks for watching.